All right, so to carry on from where we just were, basically we're going to be using Unity as our platform to create interactive content, right? Now, although obviously it's meant to be used for video games, like I said, I've seen it used for all sorts of other purposes, augmented reality, training, websites, so all sorts of different things. Okay, so you can actually use it for free. It's fully featured. It looks awesome. The school will have it obviously as well. It's always beneficial to work at the college in the lab because there's other students also working there. But you can actually, if you just click right on this, it will open it up, and then you can just go ahead and download Unity. All it'll do is ask you to make an account, and then you make the account, and then you download it, and that's it. All right, so that's what we're going to be using. Just be prepared for that. It should work on most systems. It works on Mac and it works on PC. So it's a really nice platform. Okay, so back to this. Okay, all right. And come on, it's like crashing my computer. There we go. Hate you, Unity. Make me angry. Okay. It's really not liking that. All right, come on. Hang on, so I'm gonna pause this. Seem to be crashing or something. So now at this point, I might have different things in here. I think I'm gonna make a video that just says that's just an introduction to Unity and the general interface. And then I think I might leave this paddle game on here. So if you do want to make a paddle game, you can actually make one. So if you do want to make this paddle game, you can, but all you got to do is just engage this. So if you just click in there, and then you can use your arrow keys and try to play against the computer. Got to warn you though, it's pretty good. Anyway, so we'll just escape that. All right, you have to hit escape in order to get out of it, just so you know. So or you can click out if it's not using your thing. So generally speaking, what you're going to see is that with each assignment, with each class, I will post a tutorial just kind of like going through some things. So in this case, I just have this paddle game tutorial, which goes through how to make, I'm going to call it a paddle game because Pong is copywritten, but making this paddle game, if you will. All right, and then here's like the folders, and this is this here are the scripts. Okay, so I imagine you're probably not going to be wanting to write all these scripts. It's actually very simple. But you can also, if you wanted, you can just download a written tutorial that's not the videos. It's just I wrote down each step. And then also a zip folder that has the zip folder has that, and also the scripts themselves, so you can just copy and paste them. All right, so your first assignment, should you choose to do it, and I would unless you want to get a 0, is part of the motion narrative project. Okay, so basically your first project is going to create a narrative that has motion elements included into it. Okay, it should be 4 panels is what I'm looking for. Okay, so really it's not gonna be much of a narrative. I would think something along the lines of like an animated comic strip is more or less what we're looking for. I don't know if you've seen, like, I think DC does them, where they have like characters, they just kind of come across the screen, or like you have like a slight kind of parallax thing going on where, the background was a little slower than the foreground elements. Maybe you have like swinging trees or things like that just kind of keep the imagery alive. And then also that the transition from one to another, you can also make more interesting, like maybe make it look like a pop-up book, or maybe have them slide into place. Elements like that. But basically you're just going to make a narrative that has motion with 4 panels. Okay, so part of that, what you're going to do is you are going to do these 3 things. You're going to write a treatment. All right, so a treatment is, if you don't already know, it's just something like 1 to 2 paragraphs. You can just do 1 that basically just describes the story, right? I didn't write this stuff in there, so I'll fix this too. But basically it describes the story in a way that in a really simple, very basic way, nothing fancy. Okay, then what you're gonna do is, after you write your treatment, you're gonna make a storyboard. So it should just be 4 panels, just because to represent the 4 panels you're gonna be making, and draw them out. Okay, they don't need to be beautiful, but don't give me stick figures, because obviously I'm grading these, so if they look crummy, you get crummy grades. It's basically how it works. All right. And then lastly, what I wanted you to do is basically find at least 2 images. Now, you can find them on the internet, or you can scan in, like if you have a book illustrations that you really like the style, you can bring those in and be like, this is kind of what I'm looking for. I want to make it look like this book. You know, you'd be like, oh, I want to make it look like Dr. Seuss. So maybe find some images of Dr. Seuss and hand those in, just so that you have a style, you know, an art direction, that I know that that's what you're looking for. Or you can just use your own images, or you can make images if you want. Like, oh, you know, probably a lot of you will want to do your own style, but, and that's totally fine, you know. But if you don't, if you want to use somebody else's style, then, you know, you have to find those images, okay? But obviously the quality of the images is going to matter to me. If they're all pixelated and low res and small, you know, colors are off and things like that, then obviously that's going to hurt your grade as well, all right? On the bottom here is, not tutorial, on the bottom here you will see the rubric, okay? So this is basically how I'm going to be grading it. So treatment, storyboard, art direction, and then pretty much every assignment is going to have a craftsmanship / creativity, right? Because those are really the 2 factors that you will notice in pretty much everything you make, right? So how well is it made, and how interesting, novel, appealing is it? All right. Now, creativity can be one of those things where it is kind of hard to grade. But really what it comes down to is that if it's something I haven't seen before, you know, or like I said, if it's novel, it's new, it's interesting, it's different, stands out, then that's creative. But if it's something that seems redundant, or I've seen it a million times, or yours looks just like everybody else's, then that's not creative. Okay. It should be on its own. So, and that's one of the reasons why, you know, developing your own style is really important, because nobody's you. You're inherently unique, right? So if you can use yourself, everything you make will then be unique, and it will be creative. But if you try to just emulate, you know, some manga or Looney Tunes or something of that sort, then you're not really being, you're just mimicking someone else's style. It's not to say you can't be influenced by them, but you should have your own thing as well. Otherwise, why would someone buy you over somebody else, right? Okay, and this is just the same description that was up there, and then you can also download the rubric here, which is just this as an Excel sheet, okay? Good, and let's see what else is there. All right, so basically, just as a reminder, next class, so you're going to have basically a week to do this. Next class, I will be expecting you to hand in those 3 items, okay? That'll be part of the assignment, and you will use the D2L website. So just villa.edu, and then let's see, D2L, and I don't know what my password is, so I'm going to bring this over here. Okay, come on, let go. All right, cool. Let's try that again. There we go. And badonk. So you should have a username and password. I'm not sure what yours are. I'm just going to bring this over here real quick, because I don't want you guys all knowing my business. All right. Oh, good. Okay. And then boom. And I'm just going to type in my username stuff here. Boom. All right. So you'll log in. It looks like this. And then what you'll notice is, let me see. So you'll select a course. Only have the one here. And then boop. And you will see there's no news assignments. And then you'll see there's a Dropbox. And I'm going to want you guys to drop those materials in here. So basically, what I would do is draw everything as in Photoshop, or you're going to have to scan them in. Obviously, whatever your treatment is, you should just type that up. And then the other materials also have to be obviously digital. So everything's going to always have to be digital. We live in a digital world, and I'm a digital girl, so you're just going to have to deal with that as best you can. If there are any questions or concerns, again, my email is here we go, is this, najcone@yahoo.com. And my Skype is najcone, all right? So that should be pretty easy. And this website is teachmecone.com, all right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send out an email to you guys, have you guys come here. What I want you to do is just basically watch these videos. You obviously have already done that because you can hear me now. And then I want you to start working on these aspects. I'm not going to require you to make this Pong game. If you want to, you can. It might be a good intro. Like I said, I might, if I have time, I'm going to make another video that's just an intro to Unity video. That I will want you to watch. which it will be right after this section here, the Introduction to Unity. All right. But in the meantime, just think about what you want to do for the narrative and develop that. And like I said, email me or any questions that you have. Obviously, it's the first week, so it's a little bit lighter than usual. All right. Good luck.